Barrister Darlington, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther. How are you too?
I am fine, sir. Thank you for joining us today. Barrister Darlington, very quickly, because of time, what would you say is your objective response to this interview conducted by Al Jazeera, anchored by Mehdi Hassan?
As I was listening to what was going on, Esther, I was restless on my seat. Seriously, I wanted to tell you to stop. We have had enough. You mean Ebola did all these things? I am very sure that Tinubu will remove him by next week.
I don't think so. He already said that Tinubu does not even think anything of it.
It's a lie.
You guys are swallowing a pill for nothing.
It's a lie. Please. What he was hired to do is to defend the government, not to run the government down. What he did this evening was to run the government down.
Do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deliberately gave these guys their appointments for them to dance naked in the market square by swallowing their vomit?
He's sure that he doesn't know those he appointed.
Are you sure he doesn't know? I asked you a question. Don't you think that what he did was strategic? Choosing the very people who mocked him, who said all the statements against him, to swallow their vomit and defend their government. Do you think feels disgraced, or Dan Obala is the one who feels disgraced?
This is not the 48 laws of power. This is a different ball game. For a man with that record, he needed people who will clean up his image, or not those who will rubbish it. By denying all the records of Tinubu and himself, he has just rubbished this government.
If you say he needed people who will clean up his image, in a small town in Philadelphia, there's a group of persons who are under the employ of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to clean up his image. People's Gazette actually exposed that last year. So why would Dan Obala be doing something that an independent firm had been hired to do on behalf of the president?
I don't do it very well. You cannot sell a bad market, though. Seriously, you cannot sell a bad market. If these are things that are in the realm of speculation, we can say okay. But how do you now want to close a festering wound that is very, very obvious, smelling and rotting, and you want to close it? Tell people, well, there's nothing there, but the thing is all over the place.
Barrister Darlington, Omoyele Shora is in court. The DSS sued him because he called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal. In the court, as one of the evidence presented was Reno Mokri's words on national television, where he called the president a criminal and a drug lord. And this Reno Mokri is now an ambassador to Mexico. So are you telling me that we do not know that the president was strategic or obviously, deliberate in making these guys or giving them whatever appointment for to represent them in his government?
Elsa, forget about Tinubu's age. I am beginning to think that the president is having amnesia.
I don't think so, Barrister Darlington.
I am thinking so because the way he acts and the way he talks tells me so. I don't think a Tinubu will deliberately give those appointments. On what ground? Tell me, on what ground? No, when you are doing something, you must give reasons. So you think bringing your enemy close to you is part of it? No, that is not what the 48 laws of power is talking about. There are exceptions to every rule. The type of people Tinubu brought into governance are the ones that are demarketing him. They are the bane of his government. They are the ones that are running this government down because they know next to nothing. Esther, they know next to nothing. I asked you the other day in that studio, mention one star minister. Esther, you couldn't. You couldn't.
You said one star minister. Mention the Minister of Interior.
Now you go there. After educating you this girl, you don't want to hear this. After talking to you about that Ojo, you still don't want to hear. You have not told me what you have with that man, no. Seriously. I told you that that's not a good example, yet you will not hear. I am talking of Star Minister like Okonji Wala, Barton Nach, Akiwumi Adesina, Shegu Aganga, Aruma Ote. Answer, you know the rest. Mention any of them in this government, please mention. You will not tell me every time buy your job. Who told you to come and buy passport at 200,000 naira, B? And that is performance. The scandal involving him and his wife and the company said that he had relinquished his directorship. That one is also anything, Abi. You forgot that it was that same thing that made leave back in of his appointment. Every time, Ojo, Minister of Interior. Which Interior? Is it not his ministries that are allowing these terrorists to enter Nigeria? No, tell me. His ministry, are they not in charge of regulating those who come in and go out of Nigeria? Where was he when the terrorists were coming into here? Don't shut that man again, except he wants us to fall out.
All right, let me ask you a question. There are talks that the case of corruption and other related activities, which is considered an anomaly for a president to have hanging around his neck, is the kind of cronies, persons in his circle who have questionable characters. For example, there have been talks on the president to look into the case of the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, but the president has not assented to the request of a lot of Nigerians concerning him, despite damning evidence against him, specifically from the Zamfara State Governor. That's not the only person. The Minister of Budget and Minister of Budget, Atiku Bagudu, as well, is one of the persons in charge of the budget of the ministry. And up till now, we don't have an accurate data representing on how much was utilized in our budget. Monies are not being accountable for. Nobody is asking questions. And these are questionable characters. We already know what happened during the Abacha regime with Atiku Bagudu. That's not the only person that's been called into question. Chagari, as well, a very close ally of the president. There are talks about some unscrupulous activities, and nobody's giving accountability for it. And a host number of persons who are currently working for the president, either in active positions or inactive, but they're close with him. This has made a lot of Nigerians define the president as someone who may not be considered to be transparent. The question is this: would you say if the president has good relationship with these guys, and so long as the courts of law has not convicted them of any doing, is it wrong if the president has any relationship with them?
They will not even allow the court to prosecute any of them. Esther, have you seen them taking any of their own to court? Is it not when you go to court, they will not determine whether you are guilty or not? Have you seen them taking any of their own to court? No. If you tell me your friends, I will tell you whom you are. The personality of Tinubu will not allow him to work with decent people, Esther. He will never work with people who want to do the right thing.
Why are you so certain about that?
Is it not obvious from the people he appointed, Esther?
Don't you think that possibly those people who helped him during the 2023 elections is about loyalty over competence?
Esther, please, where did they help him?
You can never tell the capacity in which they contributed to him emerging.
No, hold on. They were the people that told him all manner of things. He told you that he fought for his own presidency, that he did it with his own money. So where did anybody help him? That is the question here. How did they help him? These people that were saying all sorts of things against him, more so than Abuala. You can imagine. It's just that the man discovered that he had to be more crooked, more raw to realize his dream. That is not the truth, Esther. There's no other person who could have made this kind of appointment except Tinubu. Look at all the people around him. All the people around him, for God's sake. I keep asking you this question. Where is that star minister? And what is he performing in his ministry? To give Nigeria a facelift. Mention that area. Or is it the whole Minister of Finance? The core of the economy. Look at what he's doing there. He wouldn't even answer questions. Just like this Bola. All of them cannot defend Tinubu. Esther, they cannot defend Tinubu. That is why I keep telling you that you local media, you are not doing enough, seriously. I wish you can have a Hassan 4 or 3 in all the media houses. I'm not joking. This government, they will hear them.
We are not doing enough, Abi.
Esther, be sincere to yourself. Will you challenge the Bola like that without them calling you names and walking out of your studio? Tell me the truth. Will you, or any media, drill a Bola like that and he will still be there answering questions? You know it's not possible. He will walk away. It's after insulting you. He will walk away. That is the truth here. So they have already known where the environment they are. They are told we are conquered people. And the conquered people, they are helpless. They are helpless, Esther. We are helpless.
According to the APC chairman representing the man there representing the All Progressives Congress, he said that basically all of the spurious claims are by the opposition. They just want to bring down the man. Does it mean that Daniel Bola ran a mockery with all his previous claims that they threw back at them? Just wanted to condemn the president.
The man was giving him date and history. He was mentioning date and facts. Yet Bola said he's not aware. He's not aware. That's why I told you that he didn't defend Tinubu here. Rather, he rubbished Tinubu. Things that are very obvious, facts that are very obvious, including when Tinubu said that there is no more corruption in Nigeria. He said that contest. What? Which contest? Which contest, Esther? This is, in fact, the man messed up this administration, seriously. He had nothing to offer. There was no wisdom, there was no intelligence. Everything this guy gave him, instead of returning it back with intelligence, superior intelligence, rather he was playing defensive game here. He thought he was talking to a Nigerian journalist who could talk to him. That the man didn't give him ahead of time what to answer, what to ask him, this and that. That is not how they do it abroad, Esther. On the spot, they pick you on. They ask you questions. You say you don't have to ask you. Well, if you cannot ask you for of your past, then why are you a public servant? In fact, I would be so surprised if Tinubu does not release this one of his appointment. Seriously.
Well, I want to support you that it may not happen.
In their head. You said what?
It may not happen, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Then that will tell you where he's going.
I just want to see General Bala's response after the whole scenario. And he said it's all politics.
Hold on. He just wants to defend the poor performance.
The president is well aware of all those remarks he has made in the past, and yet to give him an appointment. Do you think that if the president knew he had said all this, give him an appointment, that because he made this statement on Al Jazeera, that would compel the president to sack him, when he knew he had actually made all the statements before he gave him an appointment?
Esther, the impression of Tinubu was that if these people can criticize him like this, then they should use the same energy to criticize the opposition if he appoints them. Not knowing that they have nothing to offer. They don't even have the opposition to criticize in this form. Mention any opposition party member or party leader that has the record of Tinubu. Just mention. That was what he thought. That this strong critics of his personality, they will use the same energy to criticize the opposition. But unfortunately, there is no opposition with his record to criticize. So where he missed it. You can see they have no opposition member with such record as Tinubu, and so they have nothing to do except that they are just a bunch of local champions thinking of what to say at every point in time. If they are not attacking Obi because Obi went to the toilet and didn't come out on time, they will say, only God knows he has finished all the food in Anambra. Is that why he should stay too long in the toilet? These are the rubbish they use to criticize against people. No tangible thing. So if he appointed them because he said they will nothing. Mention one strong critique that have offered any opposition. I mean, strong one. Something you can say yes. Everything about the opposition is that they are criticizing Tinubu. What they are criticizing Tinubu, is it true or false? Then you have to debunk it. I've already told any of them, when you want to come to me, come with superior knowledge, superior intelligence. I will surrender to you. Not every time you are talking rubbish. What is that rubbish you are talking? Nobody will tell you. Esther, is that not what these people do? You are talking rubbish. All those ones, they are nothing. You cannot stand in court. Listen, have you gone to court? Have you allowed your cases to get to court? And let us see whether it will see the light of day or not.
Well, Barrister, the woman who was there for Financial Times actually released a statement after that interview. It's quite long, but there's no time for me to take that. But there's something that actually piqued the interest of quite a number of Nigerians, or quite a lot of Nigerians. She says, this is a presidential spokesperson who said at one point, as Hassan pushed him on a question, why? And that Bola responded with, because why has a long tail and two branches? She said she wanted to enter the ground. That means Al Jazeera edited this part out of the interview. It was that bad, but they didn't, put this in this interview. They edited it. So he asked why. He says because why has a long tail and two branches. So my question is this: do you think that Mehdi Hassan deliberately just wanted to ambush him and disgrace him, or do you think Mehdi Hassan was doing his job by asking him questions based on the statements he had made in the past concerning the role at the topic of interest he was invited to respond to.
I told you that I am surprised that Ebola messed up big time. Seriously. Somebody should package this interview and give it to you, especially this aspect of why has a long head. Let Tinubu read it and make his own decision. These people have nothing, they can't stand it outside the Esther. These people, they can't stand it, seriously. I'm not joking. I've always told you that they can't. These are the guys who know what journalism. Look at the way the guy was giving facts, dates, mentioning dates that it happened, giving him facts that is known to everybody, yet he denied it. So what an embarrassment is that? I was thinking this man should have been more intelligent in asking those questions, at least to show that yes, he's an actual. Joseph Goebbels would be laughing in his grave.
All right, Barrister Wellington.
That man who packaged Adolf Hitler.
Thank you so much.
He will be laughing at what these guys are doing. Seriously.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your response to these questions.